How you doing? What show are we on?
Truth is viral.
The truth is viral, people. So take 2 penicillins and call me in the morning.
You're watching The Truth is Viral, the only news program on the internet trusted to deliver the truth since 2008. And now, here's your host, Mr. Bobby Powell.
Welcome back to The Truth is Viral, Northern Michigan's most watched and most trusted source for news. My name is Bob Powell, and I have come into some information that you folks need to know. And I'm going to give it to you sitting right here on my deck. It's a beautiful here Michigan evening. I hope you're enjoying it. Alpena resident Bob Reed recently filed a Freedom of Information Act request with the Alpena County Sheriff's Department to obtain all text messages that former Alpena County Undersheriff Terry King sent or received on his department-issued cell phone. At the time he made the request, Reed was Alpena County Sheriff Stephen Kaliszewski's campaign manager, and he has used social media to imply that King has a violent hatred of homosexuals. I know that to be a filthy lie. Terry King is an honorable man, a Christian who treats everybody equally as the Lord requires. In fact, allow me to read to you an open letter to Terry King from Alpena County resident Brent Russell Dixon, who was once an inmate in the Alpena County Jail. Okay, seriously taken out of context. Look at all of the message info before you go out and slander someone's name. I'm very gay and open about it, and I'm still voting Terry King. I messed up and ended up going to jail, and Terry visited me while I was there. Now that I'm not in legal trouble, I can speak the truth about what happened. I wrote kite after kite about my mental health to Correction Officer Scott Gagnon and Sheriff Kaliszewski, and nothing was done until I hung myself. And guess who was there first? You guessed it, Terry King, and the CO who cut me down. I just want to say thank you to Terry for being a great dare officer, policeman, and undersheriff. Thank you for everything you have done and will do for our community. You are a great asset and model for Alpena County. Once again, Terry, thank you for caring. A text message to his daughter expressing his personal feelings from almost 8 years ago is all Reed could find to besmirch King's sterling reputation. And still, he was unable to change the mind of someone that one might think would take the most offense. Reed reminds me of all these virtue-signaling white liberals who are offended by Aunt Jemima and Mrs. Butterworth when black Americans are not. I'd like everyone watching me right now just to think back a decade or so. Is there anything at all in your text history that you wouldn't want to be made public because your personal opinion isn't or wasn't at the time politically correct? Of course there is. And if you deny it, you're only lying to yourself. It's worth mentioning that Bob Reed was fired by the sheriff for his dirty campaign tactics, but he is still slandering Terry King through social media and a website that he set up in a foreign country under an assumed name. And to the best of my knowledge, Terry King has never let his personal feelings interfere with doing his job. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about Sheriff Kaliszewski. That's a subject for another day. This broadcast has to do with a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act, made by Alpena County Commissioner John Kozlowski for the sheriff's text messages, which is being handled exactly as Hillary Clinton handled her emails. According to Commissioner Kozlowski, Sheriff Kaliszewski has taken the task away from the person who normally fills FOIA requests and is redacting the emails and text messages himself, and has demanded an extension of the time mandated by law to fulfill the FOIA request, which is within his right to do. Now, does it bother anybody else that the sheriff is essentially investigating himself and will only release those texts that he deems to be relevant? Okay, this is a quote from Sheriff Kaliszewski, as printed on one of his campaign advertisements. You can't build the trust and bond with the community necessary to be sheriff without demonstrating a level of integrity beyond reproach. I'd like for you folks to think about that while you listen to my exclusive interview with Alpena County Commissioner John Kozlowski. What is it that you did and what drove you to do it?
Well, I've been kind of seeing what's been going on, and I guess I follow to see what's going on in the social media and stuff, and some of the stuff that kind of concerned me is you know, the individuals that are posting this stuff and, you know, how they're linked back to Steve. And I guess, you know, it seems like it's one-sided. And so I decided to FOIA the information from the sheriff's, but it also, a couple on the sheriff's cell phone, I was looking at some other stuff too that I was kind of following, which is another issue, but besides this one. So I'm like, well, why don't I just FOIA his cell phone records and Terry King's cell phone records? And then I can see for myself. And so I did that. And one of the things that I was told, and I don't want to, you know, throw anybody under the bus here, but I was told that that the sheriff's department, the person that normally handles FOIAs, and again, I don't, you know, I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble or, you know, get their name out there, but basically, I was told that Steve was going to take this one, and then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, why would you be the one involved with the redaction of the information on your cell phone records? Because then he has the ability. It's like, well, I don't want somebody to see that, and I'm just, you know, I might be getting ahead of myself because he took the additional 10 days to send me the information, but so I did them two separate FOIAs. I did Steve's and I did Terry's, and figured the easy one should be the FOIA for Terry, because that apparently has already been out there and people are using it and posting stuff, and so I'm like, that's an easy one. So I want that, and you can forward that information. And I even said in my FOIA request, I said, you've got this has already been done, so, you know, pretty much this is an easy one. But he sent me the letter, and he's going to redact the information out of apparently both FOIA requests. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what I get.
That's kind of like Hillary Clinton going through her own emails and saying, "Oh, well, this
exactly.
one."
Let me scrub it, and then I'll give you back what looks appropriate to give back. So.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too copacetic.
Well,
but you have great concerns about this, don't you? And didn't you go to the Attorney General to, you know, kind of take a look at this?
Yeah, and I did, and apparently, or not apparently, I haven't heard back anything, because it just doesn't sound right, and that you do your own, you know, at a minimum you'd think somebody else would do it, but I did call them, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them, so I haven't really got any concrete evidence or, you know, any information that I can actually say this is how it should be done.
You know, it does look kind of sketchy when you're investigating yourself. So.
Well, when you're given the opportunity to, like you said, review your own stuff and then redact stuff possibly that, and I'm not saying he's going to do it, but, you know, possibly redact anything that could be incriminating.
Once again, according to Commissioner Kozlowski, when his FOIA request for Sheriff Kalazewski's text messages was received, the sheriff decided to take care of the matter himself. Now tell me, Alpena County, does that sound like integrity beyond reproach to you? I'm not saying that the sheriff would actually do such a thing, like hiding emails that might damage him, but putting himself in the position of deciding which of his text messages to release in a campaign year, he has opened himself up to charges that he might forget a few emails that might be embarrassing to his campaign, just as 33,000 of Hillary Clinton's emails and messages. We're talking about text messages here, so that's what we're looking at. And but you know, for a public official to investigate themselves, it's wrong. It's just wrong. Bogus is a word that I learned when I moved to Michigan the first time in 1989. Now, attention has to be called to the issue, and there's a lot that's wrong inside the Alpena County Sheriff's Department. And next time we come together, I'm going to share some more information that is going to blow your mind. I'm not saying it lightly either. But my next great adventure will be to travel to Washington, D.C., where our congressional representative, General Jack Bergman, and I will attempt to enlist other congressmen and senators into our campaign for Me Too transparency called We Want Names. There are sexual predators in the House and Senate that have paid more than $17 million to silence victims of sexual discrimination, assault, and even rape in exchange for non-disclosure agreements. General Bergman has called for these scumbags to be named and for every penny paid to their victims from the United States Treasury to be returned out of the pockets of the perpetrators of these disgusting crimes.
There should be total transparency in any of these. Names are named, and there should be not one federal dollar spent on any claim settlement.
This is a serious, nonpartisan issue, and the mainstream media is ignoring it. The Alpena News ignored it. WBKB ignored it. Our representative, our congressman, wants sexual predators in Congress to be named. And the establishment media in Alpena County refused to run the story, even though I offered to give them that interview free of charge. That's why Alpena County, Michigan, the United States, needs independent journalism. I need your help. Take a few of these maggots down. If you have the ability, please go to bobpowell.blogspot.com and click the PayPal button on the right, or you can visit www.paypal.me/thetruthIsViral to donate whatever won't put you out towards my mission of saving lives and winning souls for Jesus Christ in these very last days. And remember, I don't have a boss deciding my editorial content for me. So if you'd like to be kept up to date on what's really going on in the world, subscribe to The Truth is Viral on Facebook for national and international news from myself and contributors Pete Santilli and Patrick Howley of Big League Politics. For Michigan news, join The Truth is Viral /Michigan, where you can contribute news articles yourself that affect us here in Michigan without the censorship that I'm sure you found in other Facebook groups. Thank you for watching The Truth is Viral. My name is Bob Powell, and as always, God bless, Semper Fi, and hoorah. I'm going to enjoy this pure Michigan evening. Y'all have some fun.
Thank you for watching The Truth is Viral with your host, Bobby Powell. Make sure to follow The Apocalypse on Twitter @TheTruthIsViral. Like The Truth is Viral on Facebook, and if you can, please remember to donate to the cause via PayPal at www.bobpowell.blogspot.com.